गणेशाय नमः। अत्कत्यायिनी शांति प्रयोगः। ओम आदौ गणपतिं वन्दे विघ्ननाशं विनायकं ऋषिंशदेव जननीं गृहस्थापं मार्भय। ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न ताक्षयोरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम पया पृथिव्यां पयोषधीषु पयो दिव्यंतरिक्षे पयोधा पयश्वती प्रदेशा शन्तुम्यहम्। ओम विष्णुरात्मसि विष्णु स्नप्तेस्तु विष्णु शिवसि विष्णु ध्रुवसि विष्णु वैष्णवमसि। विष्णवे त्वा अग्निदेवता वातो देवता सूर्यो देवता चंद्रमा देवता वासवो देवता रुद्रो देवता आदित्य देवता मरुतो देवता विश्वे देवा देवता बृहस्पति देवतेन्द्रो देवता। ओम वरुणो देवता भ्यौ शांतिरंतरिक्षगुम शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांति औषधया शांति वनस्पति शांति विश्वे देवा शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वगुम शांति शांति रेवा शांति सामा शांति रेधि शांति। ओम सुमुखश्चैकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्ननाशो विनायकः धूम्रकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षो भालचंद्रो गजाननः। द्वादशैतानि नामानि यः पठ्ये शृणुयारपि विद्यारम्भे विवाहे च प्रवेशे निर्गमे तथा संग्रामे संकटे चैव विघ्नस्तस्य न जायते। ओम शुक्लांबरधरं देवं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ओम अभीप्सितार्थसिद्ध्यर्थं पूजितो यः सुरासुरः सर्वविघ्नहरस्तस्मै गणाधिपतये नमः। ओम सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु नास्ति तेषां मंगलं येषां हृदयस्थो भगवान् मंगलाय तनुहरिः। ओम तदेव लग्नं सूर्यनं तदेव ताराबलं चंद्रबलं तदेव विद्याबलं दैवबलं तदेव लक्ष्मीपते तेङ्घ्रिवगं स्मरामि। ओम लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजयः येषाम् इन्दिवर्षां हृदयस्थो जनार्दन। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय कोटि सूर्य समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओम यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्री विजया भूतिर्ध्रुवानीति मतिर्मम। अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्। स्मृतेः सकलकल्याणं भाजनं यत्र जायते पुरुषं तजमं नित्यं व्रजामि शरणं मम। सर्वेष्वारम्भ कार्येषु त्रयस्थि भुवनेश्वरः देवादिशन्तु नः सिद्धिं ब्रह्म ईशान जनार्दनः। ओम श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः। ओम शिवानिहिरण्यगर्भाभ्यां नमः। ओम लक्ष्मीनारायणाभ्यां नमः। ओम उमामहेश्वराभ्यां नमः। ओम शचौपुंदराभ्यां नमः। मातृपितृचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। इष्टदेवताभ्यो नमः। कुलदेवताभ्यो नमः। ग्रामदेवताभ्यो नमः। वास्तुदेवताभ्यो नमः। स्थानदेवेभ्यो नमः। सर्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो नमः। सर्वेभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः। ओम सिद्धि बुद्धि सहिताय श्रीमन महागणाधिपतये नमः। बोलिए श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। आज शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की। Offer the flowers by the Lingam. By joy, everybody else sit down, take your seat. Now we do sankalp. You have pani here? You have any pani here? Take one, put the flower. Alright, so you take a flower. If you have a palm leaf, put the palm leaf on the flower, some rice on it. And as we have been doing, the first part of it is sankalp. So we commit ourselves to worship. When I tell you, so you call your Rasi names in your minds. Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Vishnu 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 Simar Bhagavato Mahapurushasya Vishnu Ragyaya Pravartamanasya Adashi Brahmane Dviti Paras श्री द्वितीयपरार्धे विष्णुपरे श्रीश्वेतवारः कल्पे वैवस्वत मन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिपथं शरणे आरजवर्ते शृणिदादेशे विक्रम संवत्सरे श्री फाल्गुन मासे कृष्णपक्षे श्री शनिवासरे श्री चतुर्दशी तिथौ श्री श्रवण नक्षत्र श्री वरियान योगः अमुक नाम call your names everybody अमुक नाम गोत्र शर्माहम श्रुति स्मृति पुराणोक्त फल प्राप्त कामः श्री महादेव बाबा लिंग पूजान हितार्थाय संकल्प अहम करिष्ये ओम हर हर महादेव ओम नमः शिवाय बोलिए श्री उमापति महादेव की जय offer it next to the lingam and of course devotees those of you who are present you can as we say in your mind carry out the very same actions so we begin Shiva puja take a flower take some rice and a bay leaf we concentrate on Bholinath. Om Dhyayet Nityam Mahesham Rajat Giri Nibham Charu Chandravatansam Ratna Kalpujam Jwalangam Parushu Mrigavara Bhiti Hastan Prasannam Padmasinang Samantat Sutam Mamarkanair Vyagha Kriting Vasanam Vishwadang Vishwabandang Nikhila Bhayaharang Panchavaktam Tinetram Om Samba Shivaya Namaha Dhyanarte Bilvapatam Samarpayami. Offer it next to the lingam. Take another flower and now we do avahan where we infuse life within the lingam. Om Trayambakam Yajamihi Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Ivabandhanan Mrityur Mukshyamamritat Akachtvam Umakanta Sthani Chatras Chirubhava Yavat Pujang Samapyeta Tavatpam Sannidhav Bhava Sri Shamba Shivaya Namaha Avahanarthe Pushpam Samarpayami. Offer it on the lingam. Take another flower and bay leaf. We do asan. Om Asanesmi Umakanta Sukasparshe Sunirmali Upavishya Mridedanim Sarva Shanti Pradubhava Om Yate Rudra Shivatanur Ghora Papa Kashuni Taya Nastanva Shantamaya Shri Shantabhi Chakshihi Om Sri Shamba Shivaya Namaha Asanarthe Bilvapatam Samarpayami. Offer it. Then you offer a drop of water on the lingam. Om Padyam Cha Te Maya Dattam Pushpa Gandha Samanvitam Grihana Deva Deveshi Prasannu Varadu Bhava Sri Shamba Shivaya Namaha Padayoh Padyam Samarpayami. Alright, so we're going to make the various offerings. The first one is milk. So you offer the milk on the lingam. And then you just repeat in your mind, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Paya Prativyam Payo Sadhishu Payo Dibhyantarikshe Payo Dhaha Payasvati Pradesha Shantumyam Om Kamadhenu Samudbhutang Sarveshang Jivanam Param Pavanang Yagyahetuscha Payasnanaya Grihatam. Om Tatsat. Sri Sam Shivaya Namaha Payasnanam Samarpayami. Offer pure water. You can use mango leaf. Om Namo Hiranna Garbhaya Hiranna Kavachaya Cha Namo Brahma Swarupaya Snapayami Shubher Jale. Om Samba Shivaya Namaha Payasnanante Shuddhudak Snanam Samarpayami. We now offer Dahi. Om Payasastu Samudbhutam Madhu Ramlam Shashi Prabham Dadhya Nitam Maya Deva Snanartham Pratigrihitam Sri Shamba Shivaya Namaha Dadhi Snanam Samarpayami. Offer pure water again. Om Deva Deva Param Shantam Vishwasya Ghaughanashanam Grihanatvam Umakanta Snanaya Sadhaya Jalam Dadhi Snanante Shuddhudak Snanam Samarpayami. We offer ghee. Om Navanita Samutpannang Sarva Santosha Karakam Gritam Tubhyam Pradasyami Snanartham Pratigrihitam. Om Samba Shivaya Namaha Gata Snanam Samarpayami. You offer pure water again. Om Pradhanaya Prameyaya Karyaya Karanaya Cha Shuddhodakena Devaswang Snapayami Shubhaptaye. Om Gritsnanante Shuddhodak Snanam Samarpayami. Next one offering is honey. Om पुष्परेणु समुत्पन्नं सुस्वादु मधुरं मधु तेजः पुष्टिकरं दिव्यं स्नानार्थं प्रतिगृह्यताम्. Followed by pure water again. Om Namo Devadidevaya Gunanang Vritadaya Cha Shuddhodakena Snapamyam Yatra Trahi Mang Parameshwaraha. Om Samba Shivaya Namaha Madhu Snanante Shuddhodak Snanam Samorpayami. Shaga. Om Ikshusara Samudbhutam Sharkarang Pushtidang Shubham Malapaharikang Dibyang Snanartham Pratigrihitam Samba Shivaya Namaha Sharkara Snanam Samurpayami. Water again. Om Shuddhair Manoharair Dibyair Gandhadi Sahitair Jalahe Snapayami Prasannartham Ashu Siddhip Karayate. Om Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Sharkara Snanante Shuddhodak Snanam Samurpayami. Now we offer Panchamrit. Om Payodhadhighritam Chaiva Madhucha Sharkaranvitam Panchamritam Mayanitam Snanartham Pratigrihitam Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Panchamrit Snanam Samarpayami. Offer pure water again. Om Pavitra Vari Bheshudhai Shitare Sumanoharai Evam Putang Jalari Devam Snapayami Swakamyaya Panchamrit Snanante Shuddhodak Snanam Samarpayami. Now you can clean out, you have clean water. You can offer the perfumed water if you have it. Yeah, perfumed water. If you have Ganga Jal, you offer Ganga Jal. Om Gangas Chaiva Godavari Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jal Yasmin Sannidhi Kurum. Om Divya Gandha Samayuktam Nana Parimalanvitam Gandha Drabyam Idam Bhaktya Dattang Svikuru Shobhanam. Om Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Sugandhi Drabyam Samurpayami. Okay, dry out the lingam. And we offer cotton wool. If you have a cloth offering, you can take the cloth offering. Okay? Om Shitavatoshna Santranang Lajjayah Rakshanam Param Dehalang Karanang Vastram Dhritva Shanting Prayachami Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Vastram Samarpayami. Offer the cloth one side, put the cotton wool on top, on the lingam. Offer a drop of water. Om Vastrante Jalam Achmaneyam Samarpayami Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha. Alright. Yagyopavit Janev. Om Yagyopavitam Paramam Pavitram Prajapatir Yatsahajang Purushat Ayushamagram Pratimuncha Shubhram Yagyopavitam Balamastu Teja Yagyopavitam Sauvarnam Mayadatam Chashankara Grahana Parayat Tushtya Tushtihu Bhava Sarvada Samba Shivaya Namaha Yagyopavitam Samarpayami. Offer a drop of water. Yagyopavitanti Achmaniyam Jalam Samarpayami Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha. Hardi. Om Haridra Ranjita Devi Sukha Saubhagyadaini Tasmatvam Pujayam Yatra Sukha Shantim Prayachami. Sindur. Sinduram Shubhanam Raktam Saubhagyam Sukha Vardhanam Shubhadam Kamadam Chaiva Sinduram Pratigrihitam. Chandan. Remember using index finger, middle finger and ring finger. From north to south, 3 horizontal lines. Om Sugandham Chandanam Dibyam Maya Dattam Tava Prabhu Bhakta Paramaya Shambhu Subharang Kuru Mang Bhava Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Gandhanulepanam Samarpayami. Offer a little bit of Durgas. Om Kandat Kandat Prarohandi Purushaha Purushaspari Evano Durve Pratanu Sahastrena Shatena Chaha. Offer some rice. Om Akshatasya Suraseshta Kumkumaktaha Sushobhitaha Maya Nivedita Bhaktya Grihana Parameshwara. Om Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Akshatan Samarpayami. Offer, if you have a flower mala, Offer the flower mala, flowers. Om Malyadini Swagandhini Malatyadini Bhaktitaha Maya Hritani Pushpani Grihana Parameshwara Sri Samba Shivaya Namah Pushpa Malang Samarpayami. Offer Bilpatra. Om Tridalang Trivunakaram Trinetram Cha Tridhayutam Trijanma Papa Sangharam Bilva Pattam Samarpanam. Om Sri Samba Shivaya Namah Bilva Patrani Samarpayami. Offer incense, dhoop. Om Banaspati Raso Dhupo Gandhadhyo Gandha Uttama Agreyang Sarvadevanang Dhupo Yam Pratigrhitam. Om Dhupam Vishishtam Paramam Sarv Aushadhi Vijimpitam Grihana Parameshana Mamopari Dayankuru Sri Samba Shivaya Nama Dhupam Agrapayami. Perfume. Om Avirancha Gulalancha Chova Chandamamevacha Ebhis Samarpito Deva Atah Shanting Prayachami Samba Shivaya Namaha Nana Parimal Dravyani Samarpayami. You have an arati. The arati is supposed to be with the diya. Yeah. Just give me a moment, let me give me Gandha. Acha. Arati. Om Deepam Cha Param Shambhu Grita Varti Suyojitaha Dattang Grihana Devesha Mama Jnana Pradubhava Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Deepam Darshayami. Om Har Har Mahadev Samba Shivaya Namaha. Boliye Shri Umapati Mahadev ki jai. Put the diya next to the lingam. And now prasadam. You put tulsi, bay leaf, flowers. Mahadev Baba Naivedyam Samarpayami. Om Naivedyam Grahitam Deva Bhakti Meha Chalankuru Ipsitang Me Varang Dehi Paratracha Parangatim. Om Sri Sam Shivaya Namaha Naivedyam Nivedayami. Om Har Har Mahadev. Boliye Shri Umapati Mahadev ki jai. Offer it. Offer drop of water. Om Samba Shivaya Namaha. Ashmaniyam Uttaropashonam Mukh Prakshalar Anartham Hasa Prakshalanartham Cha Jalang Samurpayami. Tambul Panbiva. Om Pungi Phalam Mahat Dibyam Nagvalli Dalaryutam Langavail Lavangairladi Sanyuktam Tambulam Pradigrihitam Samba Shivaya Namaha Tambulam Pungi Phalam Samarpayami. Offer it. Offer water. Om Sarva Papaharan Dibyam Gangeyang Nirmalam Jalam Asmanang Chammaya Dattam Grahitam Purushotamaha. Dakshina. Whatever you want to offer, take flowers, take rice, offer it. Om Hiranya Garbha Garbhastam Hema Bijam Vibhavaso Dakshina Kanchani Deva Stapitame Tavagrataha Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Kritayaha Pujaya Sad Gunyarthe Dravya Dakshinang Samarpayami. Bow. Alright, so you take a flower and you have access around the lingam. So you're going around the lingam, clockwise direction, 3 times. Om Yani Kani Cha Papani Janmantar Kritani Cha Tani Sarvani Nashyantu Pradakshin Pade Pade. Om Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Pradakshinang Samarpayami. Om Sri Har Har Mahadev Namah Shivaya. Om Manta Pushpanjalischayam Kripaya Patigrihyatam. Om Sadhya Siktaya Bhaktya Harda Premna Samarpitam. Mantram Pushpanjalischayam Kripaya Patigrihyatam. Offer it. Om, offer the flowers. Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha Mantra Pushpanjaling Samarpayami. Alright, so take flowers again And we do prarthana, bandhana to Mahadev Baba. Concentrate on Shivaji. Whatever is in your mind, boy. Om Namah Sarvhitarthaya Jagadadhara Hetave Sastangoyam Pranamasti Prayatnena Maya Kritaha Mritunjayaya Rudraya Nilakantaya Shambhave Amriteshaya Sharvaya Mahadevaya Te Namaha. Om Papoham Papakarmaham Papatma Papa Sambhava Trahimam Parvati Natha Sarva Papharu Bhava. Om Sri Samba Shivaya Namaha. Prarthana Purvakam Namaskaran Samarpayami. Om Har Har Mahadev Namah Shivaya. Boliye Shri Umapati Mahadev ki Jai. Offer the flowers and bow. Okay. All right. So, light the fire, Raj. Sahasramurtaye Sahasya Padakshi Shirurubahave Sahasya Namani Purushai Saswati Devai Namaha. Everybody join together Gayatri Mantra 5 times. Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om SWAHA. 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 Om Prajapatye Swaha. Idam Prajapatye Idam Namama. Om Indraye Swaha. Idam Indraye Idam Namama. Om Agnaye Swaha. Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Somaye Swaha. Idam Somaye Idam Namama. Om Bhu Swaha. Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha. Idam Vayave Idam Namama. Om Swaha Swaha. Idam Suryaye Idam Namama. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Gauri Mata Swaha. Prithvi Mata Swaha. Om Namah Shivaya 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 Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Namo Bhagavate Narayanaya Swaha. Suryari Navghradevaya Swaha. Brahmagnaye Namah Swaha. Ishtadevaya Swaha. Kuldevaya Swaha. Asthandevaya Swaha. Gramdevaya Swaha. Vastudevaya Swaha. Sarvadevta Sarvadevi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Offer somebody Google sugar. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Achman. Om Sarva Papaharam Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanam Chamaya Dattam Grihitam Purushotamaha. Om Brahmagnaye Namaha. Bow to the flame. Achha. So you take flowers and you concentrate until the final havan. So devotees, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to engage ourselves in Kirtan Bhajan, reflecting on the glories of Bhagwan Shankar. Let me welcome our devotees who have joined us online. And in a short time, we'll be joined by devotees on IETV. Our services transmitted live from 7 to 9 on IETV. So it's not yet 7, but I don't wait on time. When I'm ready, I begin. They join whenever they are ready. So devotees, blessings to everybody. We have had a wonderful session earlier today. And the mood should be there. The feeling should be there. And keep it up. Don't allow it to slip at all. We keep our focus on Bhagwan Shankar, Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar, that divine master. Special day today, as we all know, Chaturdashi is in effect all now. And we have this wonderful opportunity to glorify Shivaji. We must remember that every month there is a Shivratri. Today is referred to as Mahashivratri in the month of Phalgun, which is like January, February, the dark night, Chaturdashi. The 13th day, Triyodasi, we fast and so on, Chaturdashi, auspicious to worship Shiva. So, at this point in time, all now, as I mentioned this morning, around 10:33, the Chaturdashi Tithi started. It's going to go on until some minutes after 6 tomorrow morning. So, we are choosing the right point in time to worship. So, devotees, all systems are in place, and we begin the journey as we normally do, seeking the blessings of Matang Mukh Mahaganapati, Vigna Vinayak Siddhi Dayak Gajanan. So, wherever you may be, settle yourselves and focus, and let the voices ring out. Supported with love from the heart, create different vibrations on this auspicious occasion. Let's all join. Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gauri Vara Tanaya Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Vidyadayaka Buddhi Pradayaka Vidyadayaka Vidyadayaka Buddhi Pradayaka Siddhi Vinayaka Ye Shubhadayaka Siddhi Vinayaka Ye Shubhadayaka Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gauri Vara Tanaya Gunalaya Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Gajavadana Gananatha Natha Boli Sri Gajanan Swami ki jai. Devotees, we go on to glorify Mata Devi. Now, the Shiv Parivar represents some very interesting principle. Many times you have seen Lord Shiva, Gajanan, Devi Ma, and Swami Kartikai. According to Vedanta, there are 4 qualifications that are necessary for liberation. What are they? Vivek, or discriminative power, Gyan. Mumukshutva, that intense longing to be in oneness with the Lord. Vairagya, dispassion, spiritual dispassion. And Shat Sampat, Swami Kartikai, let me mention. Lord Ganesh symbolizes Gyan, Devi Ma, Mumukshutva, Bhagwan Shankar, Vairagya, and the 6-faced Lord Swami Kartikai, Shat Sampat. 6 forms of wealth, as we have been saying time and again. And what are these 6 forms? Tranquility of mind, serenity, control of the senses, endurance, faith, renunciation of selfish actions and desires. But you see, devotees, we worship Gajanan, Devi and Shiva, and we hardly worship Swami Kartikai. So the question is why? So to follow the story, Swami Kartikai is born only after Lord Shiva and Parvati got married. So what does this mean? In each of us, even though there is Gyan, there is Mumukshutva, there is Vairagya, but that ultimate state, Swami Kartikai, can only come about if, from a yogic perspective, Kundalini is awakened and merges with Shiva. The marriage takes place, as we say, Ardhanarishwar. If the marriage doesn't take place, how could Swami Kartikai come? So this is a rationale philosophically why we don't really worship Swami Kartikai. It is a state to be achieved when we have reached to this point where there is non-duality. Remember when I mentioned plucking out of the eye of Lord Vishnu, representing the state of non-duality? All these factors tie in. So devotees, when we worship Gajanan, Devi and Bhagavan Shankar, we are aspiring and we are trying through the method of Kirtan Bhajan to develop within ourselves these qualifications that are necessary for liberation. So there is a philosophical basis which you need to understand. Gyan Bhakti. So devotees, we concentrate on Mata. Jaya Bhagavati Devi Namo Varade. Jaya Bhagavati Devi Namo Varade. Jaya Papa Vinashani Bahuphalade. Jaya Papa Vinashani Bahuphalade. Jaya Bhagavati Devi Namo Varade. Jaya Shumbha Nishumbha Kapaladhari. Jaya Shumbha Nishumbha Kapaladhari. Pranamami tu Devi Narati Hari. Pranamami tu Devi Narati Hari. Jaya Bhagavati Devi Namo Varade. Jaya Jai Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namaha. We know Devi has many manifestations, many forms, many names. Here we concentrate on the three major forms: Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Narayani, Rudrani, Brahmani. Ichha Shakti, Gyan Shakti, Kriya Shakti. These three form the triangle. Triangle, it is that figure, the smallest amount of size that can enclose a space. Three sides, three angles, three Shaktis. The triangle is all about energy. Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. Jai Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namaha. O Jai Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namaha. तेरा पावन सुमिरन करते अंतर में सुख भर आता. रोम रोम में प्रेम तिहरा, मन में भक्ति बिखर जाता. जय कल्याणी, जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे, नमो नमः. मन अंतर में मंत्र बनो तुम, जीवन ये गुंजा दो माँ. जन्म जन्म के संत पुकु तेजसी अपन जगत हुमा। जय रुद्राणी जय जय दुर्गे जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। मंगलता की देने वाली मन वंचित फल बरसाई। द्वार तिहारी आके मैया कोई खाली नहीं जाए। जय ब्रह्मानी जय जय दुर्गे जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। ध्यान भजन हम निस्दिन करके मन में जपते नाम विनो। शरण परे तो एक सहरा नैया तेरा चरण कमल। जयति शिवानी जय जय दुर्गे जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। जय दुर्गे नमो नमः। जय जय मैया नमो नमः। So devotees, we hold our attention on Devi Ma. We continue to glorify her. Durga Ma, Lakshmi Ma, Kali Ma. दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय काली माँ। दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय काली माँ। काली कपालिनी माँ जय जय काली माँ। काली कपालिनी माँ जय जय काली माँ। दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय काली माँ। परम शिवानी माँ जय जय अंबिका माँ। परम शिवानी माँ जय जय ईशानी माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ जय जय काली माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ जय जय काली माँ। हे दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय काली माँ। परम शर्वाणी माँ हे जय जय अंबिका माँ। ओ परम शर्वाणी माँ जय जय चंडिका माँ। जय जय अंबिका महा, ओ जय जय चंडिका महा, हे परम शर्वाणी महा, जय जय अंबिका महा। हे जगदुद्धारिणी महा, जय जय काली महा। हे जगदुद्धारिणी महा, जय जय काली महा। दुर्गा भवानी महा, जय जय काली महा। दुर्गा भवानी महा, जय जय काली महा। बोले श्री आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। Devotees, we now go on to worship Bhagwan Shankar, Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar. So, many would be familiar with the stotra, right? So we're going to begin his glorification. We have worshipped him, but we're going to do this stotra. And remember, Shivaji represents, symbolizes Vairagya. Now, Shiva is Vairag, Param Shiva. Notice the difference. He is the infinite. But Shiva manifest Vairagya. Those of you who are familiar with the stotra, feel free to join me. The others, concentrate on Bholinath. Surrender to him on this auspicious occasion. Pranamami Anahadi Akhandaharam Vibhubhyapaka Veda Swarupavaram. Pranamami Anahadi Akhandaharam Vibhubhyapaka Veda Swarupavaram. Pranamami Anahadi Akhandaharam Vibhubhyapaka Veda Swarupavaram. Advaitaya Bhedaya Lekhayajam Pranamami Sada Shiva Dharma Dhvajam Niravajya Niravaranam Shubha Bhavya Maha Bhava Bhayaharanam Paramesha Suresha Umaramanam Shuchi Shankara Nitya Haraharanam Nirvana Niranjan Naminaram Nirakaya Nirupya Achinja Param Kivunatmaka Rupa Suchanda Swaram Shubha Karayakar Vikaraharam Vrishabhatvaja Shambhu Sugauripati Vararudrati Lochana Yogayati Kalikala Karala Mahagaralam Ajaramardivya Avyatavanam Vidhubhala Vishal Sumavijata Karapura Sukunda Samanachata. Shiragangaya Nanga Prabhadara Sai Shat Koti Chapa Karaso Sarasai Shiti Kanthala Se Bahubyala Maha Shuti Kundala Lola Kapula Aha Griga Pavaka पुर प्रचंड गति शुचि राजत बम सुवंग सती डमरू करम मध्य त्रिशूल लस्य पुर में सुर तेंतीस कोटि बसे जय नाथ य नाथन केर प्रभु करतार संहार रूप विभु तुम ही जगतार कहावत हो अघ ओघ महाविनसावत हो दुख दोख विनाशक त्राशक हो जग जीव प्रजान सुशासक हो जनरंजन गंजन दुष्ट छली नशी जात विमुखी घमंड बली भवधारय दार सुरासुर के महाकाल जलंधर औमुर के महिमूल महा अनुकूल जनम प्रतिकूल सदा खल दल दमनम प्रणमामि महेश परेश शिवा श्रीलाल प्रणम्य गिरीश देवा प्रणमामि महेश प्रणमामि शिवा प्रणमामि महेश परेश शिवा हर देव प्रणम्य गिरीश देवा ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्युर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। बोल श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। Now devotees, we'll all glorify Shivaji together, and then we will begin to focus on some incidents, episodes to attract the mind. Deva Devotama दीन सुरक्षक देवादिदेव दयामया श्री महादेव कृपामया श्री महादेव दयामया श्री महादेव कृपामया दयामया। हे देवादिदेव देवदेवोत्तम देवों की देव महादेव दया करो कृपा करो क्षमा करो। देव देवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक देव देवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक देवादिदेव दयामया देवादिदेव दयामया श्री महादेव कृपामया श्री महादेव दयामया पतित उद्धारा पाप विधूरा पतित उद्धारा पाप विधूरा कैलास कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर भव पस कर भवतव नाशक भस्म भवतव भव भयनाशक श्री महादेव कृपमय श्री महादेव दयामय देव देवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक देवादिदेव दयामय देवादिदेव दयामय श्री महादेव कृपमय श्री महादेव दयामय पतित उद्धार पाप विदूरा पतित उद्धार पाप विदूरा कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर भस्म भवतव भव भयनाशक भस्म भवतव भव भयनाशक श्री महादेव कृपमय श्री महादेव दयामय श्री महादेव कृपमय देव देवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक बोले शिव महापति महादेव की जय. Devotees, for a few moments I would like you to concentrate. You pray to Bhagavan Shankar. In between, I'll give you the opportunity to speak to that Lord from within your hearts. Remember, He's the indweller. He's there. You speak without love, the right bhav, He listens. So it's up to you now for a few moments, you're on your own. Om Namah Shivaya Advishwanath Ashtakam. Om Ganga Taranga Ramaniya Jatakalapam Gauri Nirantara Vibhushita Vama Bhagam Narayan Premananga Madapaharam Varansi Purapating Bhaja Vishwanatham Vachama Gocharmaneka Gunaswarupam Vagisha Vishnu Stu Sevita Paripitam Vamena Vigraha Varena Kalatravantam Varansi Purapating Bhaja Vishwanatham Bhutadhipam Bhujagabhushana Bhushitangam Vyagrajinam Baradharam Jatilam Trinetram Pashankushabhayavara Pradashulapani Varansi Purapating Bhaja Vishwanatham Shetangshu Shobhita Kirita Virajamanam भारेक्षनानल विशोषित पंचबाणम नागाधिपारचित भासुर कर्णपूरम वाराणसी पुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम पंचाननं दुरित मत मतांगजानां नागांतकं धनुष पुंगव पन्नगानां दावानलं मरण शोक जरादिवीनां वाराणसी पुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम तेजोमयं सौन निर्गुणम अद्वितीयम आनंद कंदम अपराजितम अप्रमेयम नाद आत्मकम सकल निष्कलम आत्मरूपम वाराणसी पुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम आशां विहाय परहित परस्य निंदां पापरतिं च सुनिवार्य मनः समाधौ आदाय कमलमन्यगतं परेशां वाराणसी पुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम राग आदि दोष रहितं स्वजनानुरागम वैराग्य शांति निलयं गिरिजासहायं माधुर्य धैर्य शुभगं गरलाभिरामं वाराणसी सुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम वाराणसी पुरपतेः स्तवनं शिवस्य व्याख्यातम् अष्टकम् इदं पठते मनुष्यः विद्यां श्रियं विपुलसौख्यमनन्तकीर्तिं सम्प्राप्य देहविलये लभते च मोक्षं विश्वनाथ अष्टकम् इदं यः पठेत् शिवसन्निधौ शिवलोकमवाप्नोति शिवेन सह मोदते। ओम हर हर महादेव। बोलिए शिव उमापति महादेव की। Devotees, Bhagwan Shankar performed different types of leelas also. So, I want to reflect on this simple one that relates to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. And I may very well at the end with Bhagwan Krishna. We know the Lord manifested himself and he was in Gokula Puri. A baby, very beautiful. Devotees, dark in color, Kanhaiya, large lotus-like eyes, curly hair, chubby cheeks, red lips. How to describe him? I haven't seen him. I've only heard about him. You visualize how he looked. But he was the life of Mata Yashoda. That is an understatement, of course. So Mata Yashoda would do what she had to do on a daily basis. And on this particular day, she put Bhagwan Sri Krishna to sleep after having fed him. And carrying out her daily chores, when she heard a voice from the outside saying, Bhiksha dehi mam, Bhiksha dehi mam. Some yogi was seeking alms, charity. Mata Yashoda, she looked out and she saw the yogi. How did he appear? अरे देखो रे एक बाला जोगी द्वार मेरे आयो रे देखो रे एक बाला जोगी. Mata Yashoda saw a youthful looking yogi. And in those days, devotees, to see a youthful looking yogi wasn't strange. Today we see a youthful looking beggar, we may say he's lazy. But in those days, no scheme, no trick. This yogi appeared differently. Mata Yashoda looked at him, what she saw. देखो रे एक बाला जोगी हे द्वार मेरे आयो रे देखो रे एक बाला जोगी द्वार मेरे आयो रे देखो रे एक बाला जोगी. माथे वाके तिलक चंद्रमा माथे वाके तिलक चंद्रमा जोगी जत बढ़ायो रे आहा जोगी जत बढ़ायो रे देखो रे एक बाला जोगी द्वार मेरे आयो रे. पीतांबर बाघंबर ओरे पीतांबर बाघंबर ओढ़े शेष नागल पतायो रे आहा शेष नागल पतायो रे देखो रे एक भला जोगी द्वार मेरे. Devotees, Mata Yashoda saw Mathe Vaki Tilaka Chandrama on his forehead to the old moon. Yogi Jata, his hair tied in Mati locks. He had on the pitambar, but here Naga, snake about his neck, snake about his arms. Who could this be, devotees? Reflecting beautifully, ashes rubbed all over his body. Who else could this be? Deen Diyalu Kripa Sagar Bhakta Vatsal, Bhagwan Shankar. Mata Yashoda was seeing Bhagwan Shankar, but she didn't pay much mind. She was thinking, this is the yogi. He's asking for alms, therefore I must give him alms. So what she did? Le bhiksha nikhse nandarani, le bhiksha nikhse nandarani, le bhiksha nikhse nandarani. Motiyan thar bharayo re, aha motiyan thar bharayo re, dekho re ek bhala yogi. Le bhiksha jogi javasan ko, le bhiksha, अरे ले भिक्षा जोगी जावासन को मेरे गोपाल दलयो रे, आहा मेरे गोपाल दलयो रे. देखो रे एक बाला जोगी द्वार मेरे आयो रे, देखो रे एक बाला जोगी. Mata Yashoda collected alms, mangal padarth, grains, whatever she could afford to offer, in a golden thali. And she came to that yogi who was standing outside. And she said, hey yogi, here, take your bhiksha and quickly return to your respective abode. You know why? My Gopal is asleep. And if he only opens his eyes and happens to see you with the snakes and whatever have you, he'll become very scared. I don't want my Gopal to become scared. Hey yogi, take your bhiksha and quickly return to your respective abode. Devotees, Bhagwan Shankar, what did he come there for? What does God need? What does Bholanath need? Is he hungry? Is he thirsty? Bhagwan Shankar said, hey Yashoda, meri baat sun. Na chahiye teri duniya daulat, ना चाहिए, अरे ना चाहिए तेरी दुनिया दौलत, ना चाहिए तेरे माया रे, अरे ना चाहिए तेरे माया रे. देखो रे इस यशोदा, ना चाहे तेरी दुनिया दौलत, ना चाहिए तेरी माया. I didn't come for material possessions, you know, Yashoda. I don't need those things. Shivaji, Vairagya, Param Vairagya. What would he do with material things? But Mata Yashoda acting the whole of a householder. This bhiksha he was seeking, Bhagwan Shankar, was something else. He said, Yashoda, I don't want these material things of yours. You know what I want? Gopal darshan. Akhiya hari darshan ki pyasi. My eyes are craving for the darshan of Gopal. Your son, Nandalal. This is a bhiksha. This is the charity that I am seeking. Oh Yashoda, bring that Gopal, let me see him. Devotees, divinity seeking divinity. What else you expect? Mata Yashoda realized you can't refuse a yogi. So what she did? Kind of hesitating a little bit, but she went inside and ले बालक निकसे नंदरानी, ले बालक, अरे ले बालक निकसे नंदरानी, दर्शन की जोगी आयो रे, आहा दर्शन की जोगी आयो रे. देखो रे एक devotees, Mata Yashoda picked up Kanhaiya, she wrapped him up, hugged him possessively to her bosom, Just a face was showing. She came outside and said, "Hey Yogi, this is my son, this is my Kanhaiya. Aao, come quick, get your darshan. And jao, go away from here quickly. I don't want my Krishna, my Kanhaiya to become scared." Devotees, Bhagwan Shiva, Bholinath, he looked at this Mahavishnu in the arms as a baby, in the arms of a mother. His body quivered. Tears came to his eyes. Ecstasy. This is the Lord. Devotion, devotees of the divine himself, on witnessing the presence of the divine, the Leela of the divine. Bhagavan Shankara, state of ecstasy, uncontrollable, began to play upon his Sringi, instrument to blow upon it in a state of ecstasy, joy, what he did. पांच बार परिक्रमा करके, पांच बार परिक्रमा करके सिंगी नाद बजायो रे, आहा सिंगी नाद बजायो रे। देखो रे एक बाला योगी द्वार मेरे आयो रे, देखो रे एक बाला योगी द्वार मेरे आयो रे। 5 बार परिक्रमा करके, 5 times devotees, Bhagwan Shankar circumambulated mother and child. Actually, notice how the child caused the mother to be elevated. Now everybody wants God blessings, but we say Matri Deva Bhava. Mother is our first God. And here devotees, that mother was elevated. But Bhagwan Shankar, ecstatic, 5 times circumambulated Bhagwan Krishna, Leela Purushottam, who is sleeping peacefully. But does God sleep? We sleep. He doesn't sleep. He sees everything. He knows everything. Nothing is hidden from him. But the illustration is that the kind of ecstasy we should feel of coming into contact with divinity. But you have to search for divinity. Bhagavan left Kailash Parvat and he came looking for darshan. Darshan. His eyes craving for darshan of divinity. And devotees, why 5 times? 5 baar parikrama karke. As I mentioned this morning, circumambulation actually helping the chakras to be activated. Yeah? Clockwise direction. But why 5 times? And Bhagwan Shankar. Now I don't want to kill the mood of devotion too much, but understand what it means. Shivaji is this passion. You know, no worldliness. And from a yogic perspective, Muladhara Chakra, Swadhisthana Chakra, Manipur Chakra, Anahat Chakra, and Vishuddha Chakra. These are the 5 lower chakras. Anytime it is said Kundalini rises beyond these 5, materialism is burnt away. Comes to Agya Chakra, right here. So 5 bar, 5 times, 5 lower chakras. Vairagya, Shivaji. Vairagya, this passion. Why did he drink the poison, keep it in his throat? Vishuddha Chakra. That poison, devotees, as I've explained to you before, is not lanit, is not gamaxone, not them kind of technical poison. It's worse than that. The poisons of materialism. And I've mentioned, you drink lanit, you're dead one time. You drink gamaxone, you take a little time, but you're still dead. Materialism, you die every day. Every day you die if you don't have this passion. This is why the worship of Bhagwan Shankar is so essential. For devotees, we go through the processes, but we don't really fully understand. So all this 5 bar parikrama karke, 5 times circumambulation, drinking the poison, keeping it in the throat, Vishuddha Chakra, all these things have symbolic meaning. So devotees, the whole idea is to awaken the lower chakras, climb beyond, and to come to that point of spirituality. Vairagya, this passion develops. Materialism can't bind you. Cannot bind you. This is the whole thing about it. If you can understand what I'm saying, I hope you do. I understand what I'm saying. To me, that is the key. Okay, I understand. But devotee, this is a spiritual journey. Even a simple little story is a spiritual journey, rising beyond the lower levels. The dance of Shiva. Devotee Shiva ecstatic. He began to dance. His circumambulation, I just told you what it is about. The dance of Shiva, devotees, dancing in a state of ecstasy, dancing his way back to Kailas Parbat. Devotees, when Shiva dances, he can dance of joy, excitement, bliss. When he dances the dance of destruction. But devotees, Shivaji, in this case, in a state of ecstasy. Devotees, Shivaji dancing his way to Kailas Parvat. Try to visualize that dance if you can. Nataraj. Dam 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 rupaje dam rupaje dam rupaje dam rupaje har bholanath Shiva dam rupaje har bholanath Shiva dam rupaje. Hare Bholanath Shiva Gangru Bhaje. Parvati Shankara Damru Bhaje Bolo. Hare Parvati Nath Damru Bhaje Bolo. Bolo dhamma 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 damru bhaje. Hey dhamma 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 damru bhaje. Dhamma dhamma dham dham dhamma dhamma dham 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 damru bhaje. Damru bhaje damru bhaje damru bhaje. Hare Bholanath Shiva damru bhaje. Hare Bholanath Shiva damru bhaje. Shiva 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 damru bhaje bolo. Bolo Hara 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 damru bhaje bolo. Bolo Jaya Shiva Hara Shiva damru bhaje bolo. Bolo Ghana 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 Ghanta bhaje bolo. Bolo Dhamma 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 damru bhaje. Dhamma 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 damru bhaje. Dhamma Dhamma Dham Dham Dhamma Dhamma Dham 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 damru bhaje. Damru bhaje damru bhaje damru bhaje. Hare Bholanath Shiva damru bhaje. Hare Bholanath Shiva damru bhaje. Damru bhaje bolo. He damru bhaje bolo. He damru bhaje bolo. He damru bhaje bolo. The dance of Shiva devotee is unique. The Damaru is said to possess what is termed to be the rhythm of manifestation. All creation emanates out of that rhythm created by the Damaru, Param Shiva. Lord Shiva devotees is what we term to be, I like this one, Mahakalakar, the perfect artist. So, the story goes like this, Narad Muni once was traveling. And wherever he will be going, devotees, Narad, Always chanting. Chanting the name of the Lord. Wherever he would be going. So Narad chanting. Hey Bolo Narayana Jai Hari Vithala. Bolo Narayana Jai Hari Vithala. Shriman Narayana Ranga Ranga Vithala. Shriman Narayana Ranga Ranga Vithala. Hey Bolo Bolo Narayana Jai Hari Vithala. Hey Bolo Narayana Jai Hari Vithala. Govinda Vithala Rakhmai Vithala. Hey Govinda Vithala Rakhmai Vithala. Gopala Vithala Panduranga Vithala. Gopala Vithala Panduranga Vithala. Shri Ranga Vithala Panduranga Vithala. Shri Ranga Vithala Panduranga Vithala. Bolo Bolo Narayana Jai Hari Vithala. Bolo Narayana Jai Hari Vithala. So devotees Narad Muni entranced, chanting Jai Hari Vithala, Jai Narayan. And devotees, while chanting, he came to a certain spot where he heard something that went beyond his voice. Something painful, something grievous. What was it? Narad Muni was having a sort of moaning and groaning. He wished to a sort of valley. What was this? What is this? Moaning and groaning like this. So Narad went closer to see, and when he wished a little close, he saw what? Strange sight. Dismembered bodies. Head one side, body one side, feet one side, hands one side. Narad wanted to know, what is this? As he walked forward, one of the head, but it had to be the head because he moved in the head, right? The head said, Narad, stop right here. Narad, now he's a very obedient person. When you tell him stop, he stopped right away. He wasn't saying, what do you say? Very obedient. Stop right away. Now nobody stopped Narad before. He had free access to anywhere. But now this head alone, a head alone, tell him stop coming, don't come closer. So Narad stayed right there. He said, well, tell me who you are. Then Narad was told by this head, oh Narad, we are all dismembered parts here. We are the ragas and raginis. Now for those who don't know, the Hindu music system is based upon rag, ragini. Everything, who are trained will know about rag and raginis and so on. So he's saying, this head is saying, we are the ragas and raginis. So Narad said, what? Who cut up all so bad? All cut up well bad. Then Narad said, the head said, Narad, singers like you. And how they were. All who caused this? All the head cut out, foot cut out, hand cut out. Narad was very depressed. I thought I singing good. They say every donkey like to himself, boy. We all feel we're singing good. Those of you who remember from our days, the musicians of women, donkey and goat, they had their own orchestra, Naya Jhanjat. Yeah. Devotees, Narad was shocked. Nobody ever told him before, stop singing, you're singing bad. But they have to tell me singing bad, all the kata the rag and raginis. So Narad was very disturbed. Because music is an integral part of our devotions. So he asked, oh, I'm so sorry, but tell me, how can you get back together? The whole system reinstituted. You'll be healed. How? What will cause this? And the head said, Narad, don't you know? If the perfect singer sings, the perfect dancer dances, the perfect musician, if he performs, that is the only way we could be reconstituted. Well, Narad will ego know, if I am not the perfect singer, I wonder who is why. So you have to ask, well, who is the perfect singer? Tell me. Don't you know Narad? Bhagwan Shankar. Mahakalakar. The Damaru he carries devotee symbolizes rhythm. He possesses the rhythm of manifestation. One. But not that. Perfect music. The music system. Nad. So the head said, Narad, if Bhagwan Shankar were to sing, that is the only way we'll be reconstituted. So Narad felt obligated, I would say, that he needs to go on now, because of he was responsible for Katna Virag so bad, to go and talk to Bhagwan Shankar, pray to Bhagwan Shankar, to ask that Lord if he will sing. If he will sing. If he will, no, Bhagwan Shankar doesn't sing just so, you know. Time, most of the time he in meditation. So devotees, Narad Muni said, all right, Ragan Ragini, I will try. So devotees, Narad Muni went to Bhagwan Shankar, Kailas Parbat where Bhagwan Shankar was, and devotees there, he prayed to Bhagwan Shankar in his own way. Don't mind Ragan Ragi, Ragan Ragini told him that he cut them up. But when you have the habit to sing, you can't stop, right? So devotees, Narad Muni, worshipping Bhagwan Shankar, appealing to Bhagwan Shankar, praising him. Om Hari 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 Hara Tum Haradam Pyar Bhakton ke hit ka Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Shiva Shiva ji Bhakton ke hitakar. You help your devotees, O Shiva. We need you. We need you, Bholinath. Om Hari 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 Hara Tum Haradam Pyar Bhakton ke hitakar. Hara Tum Haradam Pyar Bhakton ke hitakar. Kailashpati Bhagavan Kailashpati Bhagavan
तेरो जहता में गंगा विराजे। ओ तेरो जहता में गंगा विराजे। तेरो गले में मुंद की हार, हर तुम हरदम प्यार, भक्तों के हितकार। हरि हरि हर तुम हरदम प्यार, भक्तों के हितकार। तेरो आसन है पद्म भगवान, ओ तेरो आसन है पद्म भगवान। सर्वशक्तिमान, तू ही है सर्वशक्तिमान, हर तुम हरदम प्यार, भक्तों के हितकार। Narad Muni, that feeling of devotion, dependence, relying on Bhagavan Shankar, how to express his state of mind, actually pleading. He wanted to get a vardhan from that Lord. He wanted the Lord to sing, to dance, to re-establish that music system. Narad Muni surrendered to the Lord. हर शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ, उमापति शिव भोलेनाथ। ओम शिव शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ, नीलकंठ हर दीनानाथ। Mahibhushan Shiva Gaurinath. Om Mahibhushan Shiva Gaurinath. He Param Sumangal Dinanath. Om Param Sumangal Dinanath. Girijaranga Paramananda Samadhi Priya Ganganath. Girijaranga Paramananda Samadhi Priya Ganganath. Om Mahibhushan Shiva Gaurinath. Om Mahibhushan Shiva Gaurinath. He Param Sumangal Dinanath. Om Param Sumangal Dinanath. Girijaranga Paramananda Samadhi Priya Ganganath. He Girijaranga Paramananda Samadhi Priya Ganganath. Genuine pleading. Narad Muni appealed to Bhagavan Shankar, feeling responsible for whatever has happened. Bhagavan Shankar, very easy to please, said, Narad, what can I do for you? Narad explained, Lord, this is the situation. I would like you to sing and dance. You are a perfect artist. Bhagavan Shankar said, yes, but I will sing and dance under one condition. I have to have the perfect listener. And I've always said, why are you blowing Basuri for Bhaisa to hear? Bhaisa could appreciate Basuri. You have to give him dhamka. Not Basuri. So in other words, you don't waste, wonderful devotion and so on, gallery in yourself. Bhagavan Shankar doesn't gallery himself. If the perfect listener listens, then I will sing. Who's the perfect listener? Again, Narad said, if it's not me, who, eh? Then he asked, oh Lord, tell me. Brahma and Vishnu, the perfect listeners. The devotees, Narad went to invite Brahma and Vishnu to come. They didn't need a second invitation. To hear Shiva singing, to see Shiva dancing, devotees, to see him playing the Damaru, once in a lifetime experience. For some of us, is none in a lifetime experience. You don't get that. You really have to be in a state of devotion for that. Devotees, immediately, Brahma and Vishnu came there. And all the Ragas and Raginis, head rolling, foot jumping. Well, foot have no problem, you can jump. Body rolling along. Devotees, to put it simply, all the body parts came there where Bhagavan Shankar was going to sing. He was going to dance. All the devatas came there. A unique happening, devotees. A unique happening. And the rhythm started. Dimika dimika dim. Dimika dimika dim. Damaru baje. Prem magan. Nachat hola. Bhagwan is dancing to a tune of, to the rhythm of the Damaru. Dimika dimika dim. Dimika dimika dim. Prema magan. In a state of ecstasy. Bambhola Shiva Bambhola. The perfect singer. The perfect musician. The perfect artist. Mahakalakar. Shivaji. To re-establish the music system. He danced. He sang. He played upon his singing. Dimika dimika dima damaru bhaje prema maghan nachat dhula. Dimika dimika dima damaru bhaje prema maghan nachat dhula. प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला बम भोला शिव बम भोला शिव बम भोला बोलो भालचंद्र शिर गंगा लहरत अतभ भूतन को बोला तो दिन कदिम दमरू भाजे प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला शेंगी नाद बजावत गावत लटकी रह्यो बगली झोला शेंगी नाद बजावत गावत लटकी रह्यो बगली झोला तो दिमिक दिम दमरू बाजे प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला बम्भोला शिव बम्भोला बोलो नागफनन सो करत आरती देव देव गति अनमोला नागफनन सो करत आरती देव देव गति अनमोला तो दिमिक दिम दमरू बाजे प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला बम भोला शिव बम भोला शिव बम भोला बम भोला शिव बम भोला हे प्रेम मगन नाचत भोला हे बम भोला शिव बम भोला शिव बम भोला शिव बम भोला शिव. And during the course of that dance, devotees, the chanting, miracle, all the head and hands and so on joined back. The ragas and raginis that were dismembered, they all became whole again. And perfect. One foot didn't go in the wrong body, one head didn't go in the wrong body. Perfect. Now you know what I say there? Because sometimes when we sing in, we take one foot and put on a different head. When we sing in. we kill the raga and raginis, you know. But I mean, don't stop singing, all keep singing. when Bhagavan Shankar, we established a system, he made sure it's so strong that when we sing, we can't kill it again anymore. So we keep on singing as best as we can. But devotees, Bhagavan Shankar, perfect artist. And a lot who dance and so on, Shivaji. Many people worship Saraswati Ma, says the goddess of learning, music. Bhagavan Shankar, Mahakalakar, a perfect artist. So it is advisable, from this perspective to worship Shivaji. Very, very beautiful if you want to develop along this pathway, music. Seek His mercy, His blessings. Remember, the Damaru, symbolically, it represents that rhythm, sound, everything emanates from Him, Shivaji. Okay? So devotees, we move on. We move on. I want to present to you another episode, devotees. Now, we have heard of the child Upamanyu. Upamanyu, devotees, was a 5-year-old with a younger brother, Dhaumya. Last week, Sunday, I related that at the temple in Pishal. So I won't go into the details. But Upamanyu Muni, devotees, it is said in 5 days' time, being, I should have instigated, but motivated by his mother. You see, he wanted milk. And when the mother said, no milk, we're very poor, where will we get milk? Without Lord Shiva's grace, nothing is possible. Then this child, 5-year-old who wanted milk, he said, okay, mother, if Lord Shiva can't give milk, then he has cows. So I will worship him and ask him for 1 cow. Now notice, many of us may say, what stupidness that is? Not stupidness, no? Devotion's simplicity. Not technical and thing, not devotees. Simplicity, spontaneity, all these qualities are important in devotions. Sometimes many of us, we go to Kirtan Bhajan and we plan to catch power. When I go catch power, right? They say in Kirtan, when you see you build up to crescendo as such, your hearing music, you start off with that, but then you reach to a point where you hear nothing. The devotee experiences ecstasy, he dances in ecstasy, he claps, etc. But in society, plenty songs on waiting. From the time you start, whap, 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 they start. You catching power from the beginning itself? Now when I say these things, people get vexed. I say this thing a long time now, so plenty of people still vex. Some of my good friends vex with me because I say that. He said, I don't like tamasha. Nobody says don't clap. But when you feel it, then it comes spontaneously. You don't plan it. You don't plan to catch power. See? So devotees, this spontaneous attitude is important. So in devotion, it's important to note all this. This child, devotees, the seed was planted in his heart. If you want milk, put it to Lord Shiva. And he was told, when he asked what to say, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. This child, devotees, as we have heard the Katha time and again, he saw Lord Shiva in 5 days' time. And Lord Shiva blessed him, right, with the ocean of milk, as we say. Actually, he asked that he must know the past, present, and future. All wisdom, knowledge. Bhagavan Shankar blessed him. He shall never lack anything in life. So, that child grew up devotees. He had his own ashram. And great devotee of Bhagavan Shankar. When we speak of devotions to Lord Shiva, we speak of Upamanyu. So devotees, it is said, according to Shiva Mahapuran, Lord Krishna, Leela Purushottam, Lord Krishna went to the ashram of Upamanyu Muni. Why? Lord Krishna wanted to be indoctrinated, so to speak, in that law, L-O-R-E, of Shiva. Some people say the cult is not cult. It's that pathway of Shiva worship. It is said, Shiva blesses one has children, sons, etc. Shiva is Vardata, the ocean of compassion. Shivaji devotees, very easy to please. So again, we see earlier on I mentioned that Bhagavan Shankar went to get Krishna's darshan. Now here what is happening, Krishna Bhagavan wants to be indoctrinated in the pathway of devotion to Shiva. Showing us what? Vishnu Sahridayam Shiva, Shiva Sahridayam Vishnu. They are the same devotees, just different embodiment. And we who create confusion. In India, you have some of them, Vaishnava. So they walk with what we call Chimta. And you have Shiva, they walk with Trishul. And when they bounce up, boys fight. Yeah, fight. And the thing is, none of them know God. But killing in the name of God. That's a strange thing, eh? How many people have died in the name of religion? Religious wars. And those who are fighting, do they know God? They don't know God. Right? They all have their own agenda. That's a different topic. So devotees, here we see no discrimination. And I want to make this point because there are certain sects in Hinduism. I'm not attacking them, I'm telling you what they say. They say Shiva is a demigod. Shiva is a demigod. You shouldn't worship Shiva. And here in Shiva Puran, Lord Krishna is going to get some guidance as to how to worship Lord Shiva. So you have to decide who you're taking on. Somebody who write that, who believes so, or you're going to take on what scriptures say. You decide. You decide. So devotees, Lord Shiva went to Upamanyu. And when Upamanyu mentioned to him, about the power of Shiva, how he, Upamanyu, was blessed by Lord Shiva. He received the power to know the past, present, and future, everything else. Here, Krishna Bhagavan asked that great sage Upamanyu, Upamanyu, please tell me about Lord Shiva. Tell me about Lord Shiva. And so devotees, in a very simple way, we will just summarize this, Upamanyu speaking to Bhagavan Krishna. And Brahmanan devotees, he put it in a nice bhajan. Some of the leelas, which, Upamanyu Muni explained to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. What he said? अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी कैलाश बसने वाले अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी कैलाश बसने वाले अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी कैलाश बसने वाले सब अंग विभूति रमाई सिर ऊपर जटा सुहाई सब अंग विभूति रमाई सिर ऊपर जटा सुहाई गिरिराज सुता सुखदाई जी गिरिराज सुखा सुखदाई जी निज अंग बिठाने वाले अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी कैलाश बसने वाले अब तुम दया करो कानन में कुंडल राजे मस्तक में चंद्र विराजे कानन में कुंडल राजे मस्तक में चंद्र विराजे तन नाग विभूषण साजे जी तन नाग विभूषण साजे जी मृग छाल बिछाने वाले अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी कैलाश बसने वाले अब तुम नरमुंद माल गलधारी कर में त्रिशूल भयकारी नरमुंद माल गलधारी कर में त्रिशूल भयकारी नंदी गण पीठ सवारी जी नंदी गण पीठ सवारी जी डमरू के बजाने वाले अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी कैलाश बसने वाले अब तुम गंगा नद वेगय पारा जब नभ से उतरी धारा गंगा नद वेगय पारा जब नभ से उतरी धारा तुम बीच जटा के दारा जी तुम बीच जटा के दारा जी जल बूंद बनाने वाले अब कैलाश बसने वाले, अब तुम जब रावण ने तप कीना, तब मन वांछित वर लीना। तब रावण ने तप कीना, तब मन वांछित वर लीना। तुम तीन लोकपति कीना जी, तुम तीन लोकपति कीना जी, सब राज्य दिलाने वाले, अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी, कैलाश बसने वाले, अब तुम काम देव तन जहारा, त्रिपुरासुर मार दिदारा। तुम काम देव तन जहारा, त्रिपुरासुर मार दिदारा। सब दक्ष यज्ञ संहारा जी, सब दक्ष यज्ञ संहारा जी, घनसेन पठाने वाले, अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी, कैलाश बसने वाले, अब तुम मुनि मार कंदत पधारी, जब आयो शरण तुम्हारी। मुनि मार कंदत पधारी, जब आयो शरण तुम्हारी। यम पाश पलक में तारी जी, यम पाश पलक में तारी जी, तन अमर कराने वाले, अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी, कैलाश बसने वाले, अब तुम दीन बंधु व्रतधारी, निज भक्तन के हितकारी। तुम दीन बंधु व्रतधारी, निज भक्तन के हितकारी। ब्रह्मानंद सकल भयहारी जी, ब्रह्मानंद सकल भयहारी जी, सुख धाम पुगाने वाले, अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी, कैलाश बसने वाले, अब तुम दया करो। कैलाश बसने वाले शिव, कैलाश बसने वाले, कैलाश बसने वाले शिव, कैलाश बसने वाले, कैलाश बसने वाले शिव, कैलाश बसने वाले शिव, कैलाश बसने वाले, अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी, कैलाश बसने वाले, अब तुम दया करो महादेव जी, कैलाश बसने वाले, कैलाश बसने वाले, कैलाश बसने। So devotees won't be able to translate the entire thing. You know, normally if we have like a yagya, Shiv Katha is so beautiful. One session, one episode, 2, time finish. But beautiful. Upamanyu, an expert as it were, in the glories of Bhagavan Shankar. An expert. He knew from experience, anubhav. Not just what he read in book. Anubhav, personal experience. And he praised Bhagavan Shankar. And Bhagavan Krishna was very much motivated. And then he wanted to have certain desires fulfilled, sons and so on. So he asked Upamanyu to initiate him in the practice of devotion to Shiva, which Upamanyu did. Upamanyu Muni initiated Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and he gave him what mantra? Oh Krishna, there's one powerful mantra, nothing to compare with it. And what is it? Om Namah Shivaya. No long kind of thing, devotees. Nothing wrong with Mrityunjay mantra. We say for specific purposes. But to please Shiva, simply, my child can recite it. Which Upamanyu did as a child. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Devotees, Upamanyu Muni guided Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who then went to Kailas Parbat, where he was going to perform devotions to Bhagavan Shankar. And there,
Devotee, he stabilized himself, and you know, in a very beautiful way, he worshipped in various ways. We won't go into details. They would have their own way of doing things, devotees. But he worshipped and he prayed, glorifying Shivaji, Bholinath. Jai 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 Mahadev. Om Jai 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 Mahadev. Shvetambar Pitambar Katime Badhambar Saje. Katime Badhambar Saje. Galamala गलमाला रुंदन की करदमरू बजे. ओम जय 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 महादेव. शीश जटा बहे गंगा उज्ज्वल चंद्रानन सोहे. उज्ज्वल चंद्रानन सोहे. उज्ज्वल चंद्रानन सोहे. स्वामी समाधि लगाए. स्वामी समाधि लगाए. त्रिभुवन मन मोहे. ओम जय 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 महादेव. जय 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 महादेव. नीलकंठ भक्तन हित तुमने विष का पान किया. तुमने विष का पान किया. और तुमने विष का पान किया. असुरों को संहार की. असुरों को संहार की. जग का त्राण किया. ओम जय 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 महादेव. रूपय लौकिक अर्ध नारीश्वर. तुम हो त्रिपुरारी. त्रिलोचन तुम हो त्रिपुरारी. त्रिलोचन तुम हो त्रिपुरारी. शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर. शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर. तांडव गति धर. ओम जय 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 महादेव. ओम जय 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 महादेव. ओम जय 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 महादेव. Devotees, of course, Bhagwan Sri Krishna will use Sanskrit stotras to praise Bhagwan Shankar. If time would have allowed, we could have done some, but I don't want to cross time limit. Devotees, so in a simple way we prayed, just to illustrate, he prayed sincerely, very sincerely. And devotees, if they said sincere prayer, bring results. Bhagwan Shankar appeared together with Goddess Parvati before Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Ask, what do you want, O Krishna? Devotees, if you had this opportunity, what are you going to ask for? We all need something in life, or some things in life. We worship Shiva, he is Vardata, the giver of boons. Bhagwan Sri Krishna worshipped, Shiva is standing before him. He wants a Vardhan, he wants a boon. But you must remember, the very same Krishna, Vishnu Bhagwan, he got Sudarshan Chakra. Many other
itihas, as we explain here, Upamanyu Muni related to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, about the power and the mercy, the compassion of Bhagavan Shankar. Devotees, the devotees will pray, appeal to Bhagavan in a very simple and beautiful way. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So you pray, devotees, Shivaji, Hey Bholenath, Dehu Mohi Vardhan, grant me the boon that I seek, O Lord. Whatever you want, devotees, pray. O Shivaji, Dehu Mohi Vardhan, Dina Bandhu Bhagavan, Umapati Bhagavan, Shivaji, Dehu Mohi Vardhan. O Shivaji, Dehu Mohi Vardhan, Shivaji, Dehu Mohi Vardhan, Dina Bandhu Bhagavan, Umapati Bhagavan, Shivaji, Dehu Mohi Vardhan, Shivaji, Dehu Mohi Vardhan. Hirdaya Kanch, Galle Mundamala, Galle Mundamala, Jata Mukut aur dhyan, Shivaji, Jata Mukut aur dhyan, Shivaji, Dehu Mohi Vardhan, Shivaji. कपूर की करो आरती, करो आरती, दूजे तेरी और ध्यान, शिवजी, दूजे तेरी और ध्यान, शिवजी, देहु मोहि वरदान, शिवजी, देहु मोहि वरदान. लाज हमारी शरण तिहारी, शरण तिहारी, शरण तिहारी, हे गिरिराज महान, शिवजी, हे गिरिराज महान, शिवजी, देहु मोहि वरदान, शिवजी. उमापति प्रभु, उमापति प्रभु हे त्रिपुरारी, हे त्रिपुरारी, उमापति प्रभु, उमापति प्रभु हे त्रिपुरारी, हे त्रिपुरारी, हे त्रिपुरारी, उमापति प्रभु हे त्रिपुरारी, हे त्रिपुरारी, हे त्रिपुरारी, हे प्रभु कृपा निधान शिवजी, हे प्रभु दया निधान शिवजी, देहु मुहि वरदान, दीन बंधु भगवान, उमापति भगवान, हे प्रभु कृपा निधान शिवजी, देहु मुहि वरदान शिवजी, देहु मुहि वरदान. Devotees, very beautiful way to pray, surrender to Lord Bholinath. He is a giver of boons. So devotees, Bhagavan Sri Krishna was pleased when he saw Bhagavan Sri Shankar. Shivaji more pleased to witness the devotion of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And he said, ask a Vardhan, what do you want? Ask, what do you want? Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, Lord, I want to ask for 8 boons. Now, I mentioned, say, that, ask for a Vardhan. Here, Shivaji didn't say that, I stingy. So I say, a Vardhan. Bhagavan Shankar said, ask, what do you want? And he said, oh Lord, I want 8 boons. Now, Bhagavan Krishna is asking for these boons from Bhagavan Shankar. And I'm sure devotees, we have not heard of this before. Right? Now, I'm not making it up, it is in Shiva Puran. Yeah? So devotees, he said, Lord, the first thing, let my mind always be on this pathway to worship you. What again you want, devotees? The path of Shaivism. Worshipping Shiva. Because he does not make a distinction between Shiva and Vishnu. Only fools do that. Bhagavan Sri Ram said in Ramayana, whoever creates distinction between Shankar Bhagavan and Vishnu Bhagavan, they will live in the worst type of hell that there is for the longest possible time. I just see what scriptures say. And we have ordinary people who, whatever agenda, and they're projecting this as if they know God. Do they know God? Don't get carried away with devotee, don't get fooled. You have a right to worship who you want to worship, but you do not have that right to criticize any other form of God, because you don't know God. Simple? Not so simple. I won't criticize any other form of God. You worship, up to you. I worship my way. Okay? So devotees, this is the whole point. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying, I want to be always attached to this, to your culture, as we say, your pathway, this pathway that you have created. Your pathway, you didn't create it, but this pathway of Shaivism. 1. Second Vardhan, let my fame be steady. Yash. Yash is one of the 6 bhag, one of the 6 powers of divinity. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan. A person possesses 6 bhag, 6 powers. They can be called Bhagavan. Yash is one. Fame. Fame. So let my fame be steady. Now when you say steady, what do you mean? Today somebody famous, tomorrow they get cussed. Follow? Steady. Let me have nearness to you, O Lord. Nearness to you. Now many may not understand what that means. What does nearness to him mean? Devotees, there are 4 means of liberation. Sarupya, Sarlokya, Samipya, and Sayujya. Yeah? Those are words, right? People talk about liberation. Some people are going to die and go to be liberated. No, no. Sayujya is total absorption. Like a drop of water thrown into the ocean becomes one with the ocean. Sayujya. Salokya, living in the same plane as divine, whichever form you worship. Like for instance, devotees, I would like to worship Shiva. Shiva, we say, is Vairagya. So living in the same plane, what does it mean? Where Shiva is in Kailash, you think I go in Kailash? Me I qualify to reach there? A devotee is what it means. That quality of Vairagya could be in my mind. And I'm living in that plane. That quality is here with me. Living in the plane of Shiva, Vairagya. Hope you could follow me. So devotees, nearness to the Lord, like the Sankarik, they said, Lord, we don't want, to get Sayu chanting now. You know what we want? We always want to have this opportunity to listen to your glories. Wherever your praises are being sung, we want to go there and become part of it. Kag Hushun asked for the same thing. And devotees, believe me, I know Kag Hushun or the Sankarik now, but I always feel to my heart, I say, Lord, may I want to be absorbed in you now, to lose. I want to be here, I want you to be there, and I want to worship you. Samipya. Samipya, in close proximity to. In close proximity to the Lord. So devotees, he's saying, I want to have that nearness to you. Notice what he's asking for. Let my devotion to you be unflinching. Akhanda bhakti. Devotion. Not part-time. You catch a vapship way, let me go in that direction. Unflinching, unwavering. Bhagavan Krishna is asking. And no, Lord, well, devotees, from the Hindu tradition, they like to have sons and so on. That is, dhana dhanya, for, the continuity of the lineage. So what he's saying, devotees, actually he was blessed by Bhagavan Shankar. That you should have a very powerful son whose name is Samba. So if earlier on, those of you who were here, whenever we were doing the devotions here, Samba Shivaya Namah. Samba, a son of Lord Shiva. Sorry, a son of Lord Krishna, Samba. But he said, I bless you with that, Shivaji said. I bless you with a powerful son, Samba. You go to Mahabharata devotees, you can hear plenty of these kathas. But here, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying, I am praying that my senior sons, now he have many sons, elders, but each one must have 10 sons. So imagine that that's a whole clan right there, And maybe when we do Krishna Katha, we can look more at that and see what it means. What it means. Lord, and I want you to grant me this Vardhan, let all my enemies who are arrogant by their might, who feel strong and powerful, let them be killed in battle. Mahabharata. And Lord, I want to ask also, nowhere shall I suffer dishonor from enemies. Now, people have enemies. Okay, you don't like me, no problem, but don't bath walk me now. Right? Don't, dirty me water. Some people do that. They can't shut their mouth and stay quiet. Puck, bath talking people. Not realizing they're self-destroying themselves, devotees. What he's saying, let me be free from this. Enemies, whatever. But let me be free from any dishonor. Let them not in any way whatsoever create that situation to bring about my dishonor. This was why when we had the Semantak Mani gem, for those who follow Devi Bhagavad, when Satyajit, I think it was, Prasen went with the gem and he was killed by the lion and so on. Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, I have to claim my name. No dishonor. Because where he lived, the people there began to say, Krishna Bhagavan killed Prasen and take away the gem. He owned people, He owned people. People? Devotees, today they praise you, tomorrow they curse you. I say that over and over. Most fickle. And my song, very, very funny. Yesterday I was telling somebody, sannyas, you have to go in the forest to renounce the world now. This society is a forest. Yeah. You go in the forest, devotees, it's easy to live there, boy. You see a snake, you avoid him. You see a tiger, you stay quiet. Whatever. Because all these behaviors are straightforward, right? But in society, devotees, sorry to say, manush mein kachu bhed. Manush mein koi devta, manush mein koi pret. You could be sitting down next to a snake and you know. No, I ain't saying next to a snake. Understand? We're talking about Shiva. You can have a snake. Yeah, you can have a snake. Shiva don't come a snake, eh? Do fool yourself for that. You see, devotees, a human being, right? They have attitudes like tiger, like snake, negative attitudes. This society, and you see, you can't tell. You see, they don't have horn, they don't have tail, they don't have fangs, physically, but they behave like that. Not everybody, eh? So this is why I'm saying, you see this forest? You could survive here, but you survive anywhere. Survive anywhere. This is why Shiva, this passion, you develop that special attitude. You don't get caught up. You don't get caught up at all, at all, at all. So devotees, all these little digressions, pay attention to these things. Too many of us want to create an impression in society. Please, go ahead, fix up. See who you go, please. Always understand that the good and the pleasant, do the good, not the pleasant. Right? Crowd pleaser or crowd teaser? What are you? I like to be a crowd teaser. You know, crowd pleaser. I have my own independence. And I keep saying, I'm dancing to my own beat. They say, Jaisa Kach, Kachi, Vaisa Nach, Nache. How the drum beat so people as dance. Society like to have people like that. Dance to the tune. Some of us say, not a bit of that. I'm dancing to my own tune. Because I know the rhythm I am playing, not your rhythm. So devotees, society could be very disappointing. But you know what? You don't think too much about that. Otherwise you feel depressed every single day of your life. This is why the scriptures say equanimity. Equanimity. So nothing affects you. This is where the Vairagya come in. This is why Shiva is so important. They praise you, no problem. They curse you, no problem. You say what you know, yes? You say what you think you know. I know what the truth is. And I've always said this, and I tell people over and over. Too many of us have wondered, what people doing so? Why people doing so? Why you worry about anybody else? Worry about you. You can't change the world. God didn't change the world. You think you could? I tried. For 50-something years I've been trying. I changed one man for sure. This man here. Sure about that. So devotees, don't waste your energy and time. This is why we keep saying, look at yourself. Society is very, very strange. And Bhagavan Krishna was aware of this. This is why he was saying, let nowhere shall I suffer dishonor from enemies. Nowhere. Those who don't like me, those who are opposed to me. And notice, the Lord, but he's saying enemies. Anybody here don't have enemies? Huh? You're very fooling yourself if you feel you don't have enemy. Everybody have enemy. And devotees, the enemy on the outside, I don't pay much mind to them. Lakshmi karotu kalyanam arogyam sukha sampadam mama shatru vinashaya deepa jyotir namosute. We all say that mantra, right? Oh Lord, mama shatru vinashaya ma, my enemies, destroy them. Who are the enemies on the outside? Well, may wish in my prayer, no fool on the outside, no? You know who my enemy is? Or the enemies are? Inside here. Hate, anger, lust, greed, jealousy, rivalry. These inside of me, these are my enemies. So, on the outside, you were dead in any case. Me wasting time with you? Why wasting time with you? But inside of here, devotees, these run rampant. So you see, this is when we start to internalize. Most people will say, oh Lord, when they, enemy here, enemy there, kill them, destroy them. I am saying, Lord, my enemy inside of me. Understand the point I'm making? If you can't, devotees, I'm not wasting time with anybody on the outside. You know why? Jaisa karni vaisa bharni. You do stupidness, you plant your seeds, you self-destruct. May I waste my time with you? All waste time, go ahead. Worry about everybody else. Devotees, this is Vairagya. You develop this passion. You can't be worshipping Shiva and enemies overpowering you on all sides, all kind of thing in your head, fear, etc. You are really worshipping Shiva? Tell me. This is why I keep saying life is like an open book. So don't come by me and ask me to read the page now. I'll give you the answer good. So devotees, just understand all this. And Bhagavan Shankar, Krishna is saying for the eighth Vardhan, I shall be beloved of all the yogins. All those who do yoga, I must be the one close to them, attached to them. And devotees, this again is a very positive thing. This is why, if you go to scriptures, Right? Bhagwan Shankar said Tathastu. All the gopis, all this what they're talking about, how much wife we have, all these are yogic techniques. But gross minds will take it in a superficial sense. Base, perverted sense. So we can't get rid of that. Society have all kind. You have to go to the principal level devotees to understand this. These 8 Vardhan Bhagwan Sri Krishna asked. And Bhagwan Shankar said, Tathastu, so shall it be. Then Parvati Ma, she said, oh Krishna, I could give Vardhan just like Shiva. Why don't you ask me what Vardhan do you want? Well, devotees, I won't go into all that because it could take some more extra time. Some other time I will tell you what Vardhan he asked from the mother, Devi. And you know, when I mention Shiva is Vairag here, I keep mentioning this. Devi is Mumukshutva. What Vardhan she could give. What Krishna Bhagavan asked. It will inform an attitude that we need to have as we go through life. It's not just a literal thing. But some other time, maybe some other Shiva Puran Katha. Because there are quite a few Vardhan. I feel he asked Devi for more, more than it. Right? Yeah. Plenty. Wonderful. And Devi Ma said, Tathastu, so shall it be. And so Krishna Bhagavan was blessed devotees by Shiv Shakti. And he returned. And as we all know, Bhagavan Krishna devotees, so many sons he had, so many queens he had. Many tried to destroy him, they couldn't. He's the Lord, how could they destroy him? Many tried to malign him, they couldn't. Because Vardhan. And even Duryodhana and the others devotees, no matter what, but they respected him. They respected him. And here, from Bhagavad, from Shiv Puran, we are hearing the blessings of Bhagwan Shankar. So devotees, this is the power of Bhagwan Shankar, the devotions to the Lord. And we could go on and on. Right? If I had decided to go till midnight, I would have plenty more. But I didn't want to kill out all you. I could go till midnight, you know. I could go till the morning. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. But, you know, devotee, when you get into this, and you know, we have just scratched Shiva Katha. But get the idea as to what it is. Right? And importantly, I want to emphasize that devotees, Shiva, spiritual dispassion, the ability to let go. Right? We have to let go so many negativities in life so we can improve our lives. You can't come and worship Shiva and grab onto all negativities on the outside, all the bad habits on the outside. This is a contradiction. It can't work. It wouldn't work. And you know, God help those who help themselves. You make the effort, you pray, Lord, help me. But once you make the effort, He helps you. He can take us across devotees. He can help us. Okay? So I want people to understand this. Shivratri, Shiva worship never stops. Devotion is incomplete unless we worship Shiva. Scriptures tell us that. Because without this passion, you can't go anywhere. Nowhere. Nowhere whatsoever. There is no fulfillment, no perfection. Okay? So devotees, we have, in this last bhajan I did there, Brahmanan bhajan, just like Shiva Katha in itself, but more Kirtan bhajan, in a bhajan form. So we have to leave it there, and I want to, you know, as we end devotees, perhaps we can just do Bhagwan Krishna, great devotee of Bhagwan Shiva. Not many may want to accept that, but then you condemn Shiv Puran, go ahead, fix up. Shiv Puran says, Bhagwan Krishna, being guided by Upamanyu Muni, great devotee of Bhagwan Shankar, to gain love merits, blessings. So devotees, this is for devotions for tonight. I want to end it here. Alright? We give you a time afterwards, we finish here, you offer your jal, and you know, I want you to go back home before 12 o'clock. Why 12? You know, today Saturday and you know, Carnival weekend, and you know what spirits on the outside. Going home from party after 1 o'clock. All understand what I mean? All are going from a different kind of party, but a different spirit and all you. Others may have a totally different kind of spirit. So I don't want anything untoward to happen. So we finish early, you can go home, and those of you who love to go till midnight or till next morning, fix up home. Sit down by your altar and pray. Pray to God. Pray until morning. Just make sure you don't sleep away. Okay? So devotees, we make preparation for the final Havan. And while this is being done, well, final bhajan, kirtan, Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Yeah. Now devotees, I have already committed myself, but today is Saturday and the day for Hanuman Baba. And Shiva is one of the forms of, Hanuman is one of the forms of Shiva. So please forgive me. We will do short Krishna afterward. I want to do Hanuman Chalisa. Everybody. Alright? I want to put your voices together. And remember, Shiva is Hanuman. Hanuman is Shiva. Shankara Swan Keshari Nandan. Pavan Putra. So Shivratri, let's worship Shiva in the form of Hanuman Baba. So I'll start Hanuman Chalisa devotees. You will continue with everybody. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raj Nijamana Mukura Sudhar Varno Raghubara Bimala Yasha Jodayak Parchar Buddhihina Tanu Jahanike Sumiro Pavan Kumar Bal Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesha Vikar Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar Jai Kapishati Hulok Ujagar तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। बोले श्री पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। And devotees, to not allow my vote to fall, let's glorify Bhagavan Sri Krishna for a few moments. E Nachavarala Giridhara Gopal, E Nachavarala Giridhara Gopal, E Mera Prabhu Ghanasham Gopal, Mera Prabhu Ghanasham Gopal, E Nachavarala Giridhara Gopal, Nachavarala Giridhara Gopal, वेद सारे जीवन का आधार, वेद सारे जीवन का आधार, गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार, हे गोपी मनोहर हृदय विहार, हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, ओ मेरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, मेरा प्रभु घनश्याम गोपाल, हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल, हे नटवरला गिरिधर गोपाल। बोले वृंदावन श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की। ओम गंगनपतये नमः स्वाहा, श्री गौरी माता स्वाहा, पृथ्वी माता स्वाहा, पंचलोकपाल देवाय स्वाहा, ओम नमो नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा, नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा, सूर्यारि नवग्रह देवाय स्वाहा, ब्रह्मग्नये नमः स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं श्रीं चंडिकायै नमः स्वाहा, ओम क्रीं कालियै नमः स्वाहा, महालक्ष्मी माताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वत्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री ईश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, श्री परमेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, श्री शीतला देवी स्वाहा, महा अन्नपूर्णा देवी स्वाहा, मंगला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री चंडी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मनसा देवी स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं षष्ठी देव्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री तारा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री षोडशी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भुवनेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री छिन्नमस्ता देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भैरवी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री धूमावती देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री बगलामुखी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मातंगी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री कमला देवी स्वाहा, हेमावती देवी स्वाहा, ओम सिद्धेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, सीतारामचंद्राभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, राधा कृष्णाय नमः स्वाहा, इष्टदेवाय स्वाहा, कुलदेवाय स्वाहा, अष्टांग देवाय स्वाहा, ग्राम देवाय स्वाहा, इतर कर्म प्रधान देवाय स्वाहा, 5 times again, वास्तुदेवाय स्वाहा, 33 करोड़ देवताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, अनंत स्वरूपाय ब्रह्मणे नमः स्वाहा, ओम श्री गुरुवे नमः स्वाहा। Please all stand, devotees. Devotees, we perform our final offering to conclude. We concentrate on Bholinath, of course.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shambhavaya cha Mayobhavaya cha. Namah Sankaraya cha Mayaskaraya cha. Shivaya cha Shivtaraya cha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Purnamidah Purnamidam. Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya. Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Achman. Om Sarva Papaharang Divyam Gangeyang Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamaya Dattam Grahitam Purushottama. Om Brahmagnaye Namaha. Bole Shri Umapati Mahadeva ki. So devotees will join together in Shiva Arti and we'll conclude our celebrations of Shivaratri. At the end, when we are finished, as I mentioned, outside we have the two Lingam consecrated. So in orderly fashion, you can go and make your offerings and receive your prasad, and you will have a safe journey back home. But at this point in time, Shivarti, Om Har Har Mahadev. Let's all join together. Om Sajam Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahin Yojitam Maya Deepam Griham Deveshe Trailukiti Mirapam Deepam Samurpayami. Jai Shiva Omkara, Hara Shiva Omkara. Brahma Vishnu Sadashiv Aradhangi Dhara. Om Jai Shiva Omkara, Hara Shiva Omkara. Ekanana Chaturanana Panchanana Rajay Ansanana Garurasam Vrishabhahan Sajay. दो भुज चार चतुर भुज दस भुज ते सोहे तीनों रूप निरखता त्रिभुवन जन मोहे. अक्षमाला बनमाला मूंदमाला धारी चंदन मृग मद चंद्र भाले शुभकारी. श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बाघंबर अंगे ब्रह्मादिक सनकादिक भूतादिक संगे. कर के मध्यक मंडल चक्र त्रिशूलधारी सुखकारी दुखहारी जगपालनकारी. ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव जानत अविवेक प्रणवाक्षर में शोभित ये तीनों एक. त्रिगुण स्वामी जी की यह रति जो कोई नर गावे कहत शिवानंद स्वामी मन वांछित पावे. Om Hara 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 Mahadev. Om. So devotees, Yashoda complete this arati. Let's join together as we glorify Bhagavan Shankar to conclude our evening's devotions. Simple bhajan. Mere bam 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 bam, mere bam bhole
भोला 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 भोला, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। कोई चढ़ावे पान फूल, कोई चढ़ावे माला, कोई चढ़ावे पान फूल, कोई चढ़ावे माला, कोई मांग रहा है गोदी लेके बाला, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। अंधन को आंख देता कोढ़ीन को काया, अंधन को आंख देता कोढ़ीन को काया, बाजन को पुत्र देता निर्धन को माया, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। चढ़ावे माला, कोई मांग रहा है गोदी लेके बाला, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 बम। अंधन को आंख देता कोढ़ीन को काया, बाजन को पुत्र देता निर्धन को माया, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे। काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। भोला 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 हा हा भोला 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 भोला, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम 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 बम। शिव हरे शिव राम सखे प्रभु, त्रिविध ताप निवारण हे विभु, अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां, शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं, शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं, प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलं, प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलम्। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुध्वज, मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनुहरि, ओमावाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनम, पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वर सदाशिव। ओम गच्छ गच्छुर्श्रेष्ठ स्वस्थाने परमेश्वर, यत्र ब्रह्मादयो देवास्तत्र गच्छुतासन, लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजया, येषाम् इन्दि वर्षामो हृदयस्तु जनार्दन। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं Bhaktihinam Sadashiv Yarpujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tadastumi. Om Gachatvam Bhagwan Agni Swasthane Kundam Madhyata Hutamadaya Devebhya Shigra Dehi Prasidami. Om Asatuma Sadgamaya Tamasuma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Tvameva Mata Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Bole Shri Gajanan Swami ki jai, Umapati Mahadev ki jai, Vrindavan Shri Krishna Chandra ki jai, Ashakti Jagadamba Mata ki jai, Pavan Putra Hanuman ki jai, Udaisa Jagannath ki jai, Bolo Bhai Sab Santan ki jai, Bole Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai, Bole Shri Swaha Mata ki jai. Shubhamastu. Blessings to all. Kindly be seated for a moment, devotees. So, just to get it clear, devotees, what is going to happen? Effectively, we have completed our devotions, and it's left. Now, you can offer jal. As I said, many people believe you have to wait till midnight to offer jal. No, you don't. Remember, you can perform pujas for the 4 prahar, from 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 6, 12 to 3, and 3 to 6 in the morning. So there is nothing wrong, you offer in jal now. This is the 2nd prahar. Okay? And if you want to go home and keep waking, the 3rd prahar, between 12 and 3 you can offer again, and from 3 to 6. Jagran, you keep waking and doing it. Otherwise, devotees, you can offer your jal and Bhagwan Shankar's devotions. Simple, let him be with you. Okay? So, sometimes it's difficult to break a mindset. You know, when people are accustomed offering jal from midnight, they feel, oh Shiva, wait till midnight for the water on your head. You know, you have to go beyond this kind of thinking. Understand, you know, what we are all about, philosophy, not blind rituals. So devotees, the choice is yours. I understand some people think in a certain way, but that's quite okay. But here for tonight at Gyan Deepak, we are concluding. So outside we have 2 lingam. We're not going to offer inside here. 2 lingam on the outside. There's water, lota and everything. So all you need to say, simple word. What is it? Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Prem Bhav. And devotees, you seek the blessings of Bhagavan Shankar. Receive your prasad and you have a safe journey back home. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the morning time. Tomorrow is Sunday morning service. What all you think? Let me give God SRS, right? Be boring enough in the ears for tonight. Service will continue next week, Sunday morning, as usual. Next week we are going to have a puja. I want to start 7:30. So if you want to come earlier, it's quite okay. But service will be like its normal time. So next week, Sunday, hope to see all of you. And devotees, this is Carnival weekend. You all know that. Be very, very careful. Right? You understand the condition in our country. Anything could happen anytime, anywhere. Alright? Put Shivaji in front, so to speak, and be careful. Don't be where you're not supposed to be. Young people in particular. Alright? Don't be where you're not supposed to be. Be careful. Alright? So COVID is there also. Crime is there, other things are there. We wouldn't live in fear, but don't be stupid. As the Dalai Lama said, believe in God or lock your car. Understand? Believe in God or lock your car. He won't lock your car for you. So devotees, take care everybody. And I really want to commend all of you for the great sacrifices you have made. Earlier today, this wonderful Sahasranam Path with a Mrityunjay mantra, and then tonight. Wonderful. Bhagwan Shankar's blessings definitely with you. And Raj, he performed Havan this morning, and again tonight. And we had Sandhi and Chand, they performed Puja and Lingam outside. Blessings to all of you. And members of Gyan Deepak who have worked assiduously to make this celebration possible. Blessings to you. I want to say very special blessings to Dinesh. You see decoration, devotees, if you notice, Virat Swarup. We're getting more and more conscious of him. So now he light up on all too. Right? Before he was flat in the ground. He said, I can't stay flat, so he put him on a height. Now they light him up on all too. Things are getting better. I hope everybody light up in the same way. Don't light up on the outside only, inner light. Antarjot. Keep fueling it. And devotees, success will come your way. So those of you who are experiencing bit of challenges right now, family who has health, health problems, whatever have you, pray. Pray. Right? Nothing is as powerful as the Lord's prayer. And through prayer, even doctors can be guided. By the way, when you pray, certain chemicals are produced in the brain that helps brings our own solution. I don't want to start another discourse now, devotees, but prayer has this effect. It has been proven conclusively. Chemicals are produced when we pray. At the same time, warning, chemicals are also produced when we think negative things and act negatively, also in the brain. So you know what? When you pray, good things happen. When you do bad things, you self-destruct. Everything is inside of you. And this is not fooling you. This has been proven medically. Okay? So in other words, do the right things. Be in the right place and you have your protection. Okay, so at this point in time, devotees, I don't want you to rush out mad. Take your time, go out. And as I said this morning, we had a very, very, enthusiastic devotion. Tonight, powerful. And this morning I mentioned certain miracles take place in Gandhi Park. Where people shoot disappear in anything. Right? Sometimes a shoe jump on somebody's foot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So be careful. And those of you who, have a greater affinity to your shoes and the lingam, grab your shoes first. And then offer jal. Huh? Or if you offer jal to Shivaji, your shoe disappear, Lord, you know best. Okay? Alright, so devotees, blessings to everybody. I look forward to seeing you next week Sunday. Raj, stand up. Sakalpan Sitaram. So devotees, you don't need a pandit outside. Those of you who come with the prasad, if you have any prasad you want to offer, Om Namah Shivaya. That's all. Simple. Share it and you can have a safe journey back home. Blessings.